All right, let's talk about, hey, while we're speaking of Christians on a plane, let us talk about a singer who decided to hijack a plane basically by singing gospel music. And I'm going to play this clip for you, and because I don't, for two reasons, I'm going to keep my face right here while we're watching this clip so I can talk through it. But here's the setup. There is a gospel singer named Bobbi Storm, and she posted a 4-minute video online where she was singing gospel music on a plane, doing what the Lord wants her to do. And what's also weird about it is she doesn't just sing. There is a flight attendant asking her not to be that disruptive because they haven't taken off yet. The flight attendant has a job to do. And here she is saying, well, I got to sing. God wants me to sing. And so she tries to find new ways to just sing her music. The other thing you should know about her is she, as part of a gospel choir, just got nominated for 2 Grammy Awards. That is real. One of them is Best Gospel Album. That's a real category. The other is a category you've never heard of, and it's not on TV, and it doesn't matter. But she was nominated for 2 Grammys, so now she thinks she is entitled to sing about this stuff. And because StreamYard doesn't allow me to like pause the video, I'm going to play it and I'll talk over it as we're going through it. But okay, here's Bobbi Storm's video on TikTok, and I'll talk as we are going through it.
I'm starting right now on the billboard. I can sit down and I'll sit down, but the seatbelt signs off. The seatbelt signs off. It's not a disturbance once you hit. It's right here, babe.
Okay, have a seat.
I am. I'm gonna have a seat. Okay, so watch me bless him. So I used to sing on planes a long time ago. I just found out I'm up for 2 Grammys. My very first time, you guys. My name is Bobbi Storm, and I'm up for 2 Grammys.
They're very proud of her Grammys.
My song is out on all platforms. It's called "We Can't
Look at
Forget
the
'Em."
flight
Michael
attendant.
McDonald cleared it.
The flight attendant
Warren
is
G
serious.
is on the original record as well. It's with Regulators. I want to share this with you guys. I wanted to do it when I first got on the plane, but I was like, you know, I haven't done this in a while. I've gotten to the next status, so.
Are you able to be quiet?
But they're enjoying it. So while we're sitting here,
They are not
I'm
enjoying
not
it.
enjoying it. So I'm asking you, can you be quiet?
Okay, well,
That's a
I find that up.
That's a yes or no answer, please.
Am I gonna go to jail if I don't?
Can you please answer my question? Are you willing and able to be quiet right now?
I'm doing what the Lord is telling me to do.
I'm asking you a question, yes or no. I'm your flight leader. I need you to follow my instruction.
Okay.
My instruction for you to answer my question. Are you able to be quiet
What do
right
you
now?
guys think?
I'm asking you, ma'am.
I'm asking you guys.
It's
What do
not
you
a
guys
vote.
Okay. If you're not able to follow my instruction, you will not be taking this flight.
Ah, okay.
Are
so
you
that's
able
what I
to
was
be
asking.
quiet?
If that's the case, then that's fine. If you were the
So that's
person
yes?
in charge of it all,
I'm your flight leader, yes.
if you're the person in charge
Okay.
of it all, then that's
Okay.
fine.
All right. Thank
right.
you.
So I'll sing it on the low for y'all in the back, if that's okay. All right. So the song is called "We Can't Forget 'Em." All right, and you can download it. I don't know the issue. No one else has ever had an issue, but it's Father, I thank you for each day in my life. I realize.
I am going to stop at this point because now she just starts singing. But I hope you all could hear that. I have no idea. I have no idea how volume works on this thing. I'll figure it out. But just to recap some of the stuff that happened there, here's this flight attendant trying to do his job by telling her to take her seat, keep her voice down. She's creating a disturbance on the plane before takeoff. And what does she do? First, she ignores him and just says, you guys, I won 2 Grammys. That doesn't justify disobeying the people in charge of the plane. Also, come on, one of those Grammys doesn't count. It's not a real category. Give it a break. But okay, fine. Let's give her credit for winning a Grammy. You got a celebrity on the flight. We can all applaud that for half a second. And now let's move on. But she doesn't let that happen. She wants to be the main character on this plane. She wants to be the center of attention. At one point, you heard her. She even just turns around from the flight attendant and asks the other people on the plane, what do you guys think? As if this is up for a popular vote. Like, who cares? Even if every single person wanted to hear you sing, the flight attendant has a job to do. So let the flight attendant do his job. It doesn't matter what the people want. They don't know how to fly the plane. Let the guy do it. And then as soon as the flight attendant walks away, she launches into a song and more Jesus talk. The New York Times had an article about this, and they put this into context of what was happening. I want to see if I can share this with you here. Where there we go. In one of the social media videos, Miss Storm said she had sung on many flights before, and God had called her to sing on this recent one. She said that the flight had boarded, started to taxi, and returned to the gate because of maintenance issue. After the plane returned to my gate, she said, it was time for me to follow through with my mission. And she started to sing. Think about that. This flight was boarded. I don't know what time it boarded, but it was boarded. They started to do like the movement of the plane to start taking off. Then they had to return to the gate because of maintenance issues, which means everyone on this plane is already pissed off. They're already delayed. They're already like, someone sitting in the middle seat here is like, oh my God, could this get any worse? And now this lady starts singing. Like, how bad is that? Spirit Airlines? That's Delta. But can you imagine? You thought crying babies with parachutes on a plane were annoying. This lady can't control herself. She thinks the one thing everyone needs to hear on the plane is her loud voice singing a song that, by the way, most of these people would never pay tickets for when they're off the plane. She showed up to someone else's place of work and demanded they bow down to her. Why? Because maybe in a couple months she's going to get an award or two, maybe. And it's not even a solo album. Come on, give it a break. Like, so when she turns around and asks these people, what do you guys think? There isn't a response, not an audible one. And that makes sense to me because I think other passengers, even if I was sitting on that flight, the last thing I want to do is be a part of this lady's story. Like, I don't want to go viral on TikTok just because you have a God complex. So I'm not surprised that they chose silence rather than saying, yeah, lady, shut up. But you have to think some of them wanted to take a nap, wanted to get some work done, or just enjoy the hour or two they might have to be on this flight and they're away from the other annoying people in their lives. So after all this happened, she was not kicked off the plane, despite the threat of the flight attendant. She was not punished in any meaningful way for her actions. There's no indication that there was any further incident on the flight. She said in a later TikTok that Delta called her to apologize. But we don't know that they apologized. We don't know what their conversation was all about. She just kind of held up a phone and said, look, Delta called me, and I don't trust her enough to think that her explanation of why they called her was legit. She also said in that follow-up video that she doesn't want this man, talking about the flight attendant, to be reprimanded. As if anyone thought the flight attendant deserved to be reprimanded. That guy was doing his job. She was absolutely making it worse. So, like, it's just arrogance on top of arrogance. I think the one thing that made me really happy about all this is I saw the post she made on Instagram. I saw the post she made on TikTok where she shared this video. And then I read the comments. And all of those comments are overwhelmingly, they have the same reaction I do. I'm showing some of them to you here. This is one of the most egotistical things I've ever seen. You think because you're Grammy nominated that rules don't apply to you and the plane is your stage? Work on that ego, sis. Someone else. Imagine the entitlement of thinking you're the only one with something that can bless folks, and it happens to be in an airplane where they have no choice but to hear you because they can't go anywhere. This is wildly out of pocket, sis. You held these people hostage and used God's name in a manipulative manner. That man was just doing his job and you were being disruptive, period. The plane is not your stage or billboard to market your work. And then my favorite, oh my God, you are not the main character. Sit down and be quiet on a plane. It is basic courtesy to everyone around you. I don't care how beautiful your voice is. Other passengers didn't pay for a concert. They paid for a peaceful flight. Respect their space. Yes. I love that. Um, so all these people said it. She has no self-awareness. She did not respond to any of those comments. But just I want you to just think about a couple things. Her stunt, and it was a stunt, it would never be tolerated if the person we were talking about was not a Christian. Imagine if a Muslim was like, hey, everyone, I just got nominated for Grammys. Also, I'm Muslim and I want to take over this flight and sing for you all. That person would not have been able to get through, like, past the word Muslim in that conversation, much less 4 minutes of smug belligerence. And by the way, this is not the only time this has happened. There was a couple of years ago. I'll show you this. No, not a couple of years ago. I think it was like last year. This was something that went viral on Twitter. Imagine you get on a plane and you have to listen to this. I'm not going to play the clip for you, but it's a Christian with a guitar who gets up in the middle of the aisle and just starts playing music. And you see a lot of the same reactions, like, I don't like this, but I also don't want to create a scene of my own, so I guess I'll just deal with it. And I go back to the question I asked in our last segment. What does it say about the faith of these people that the only time they think they can share the gospel is when they have a literally captive audience that cannot escape? Why can't you sing to people who voluntarily listen to you? Why can't you talk to them? Why can't you sing to them? It's because their message must suck, that this is the place that they decide they're going to spread their message. And also, passenger silence is not consent. I know conservative Christian churches have a problem with consent and they don't know what it is. But also, silence on a plane, that's not an enthusiastic yes. What are you doing? It's messed up. And I feel like the only thing Bobbi Storm here accomplished is reminding people of why they dislike and avoid Christians just like her when they have the choice to do it. So, dumb idea. I wish she would get in trouble. I don't think she committed a crime other than being annoying. But also, if she is disrupting the plane and not listening to the flight attendant, I feel like that violates some policy. She should be reprimanded for that, don't you think?